A trauma patient is somebody who woke up that morning and their lives changed in the blink of an eye.
It was just a regular October morning on the day of the accident. Many people have wondered why he was walking to school. He did not need to walk to school. He chose to walk to school. And as a matter of fact, 10 minutes later, I actually drove my other son to the school. I saw commotion. I didn't know what it was. Dropped Sean, came back home. I saw a police officer coming out of my neighborhood. I went home. He was getting in the car, and we went immediately to the hospital.
Tara and Marty Wilson's oldest child, 16-year-old Christopher, was gravely injured after he was struck by a car on his way to school. Christopher was rushed to Good Samaritan Hospital, where he remained in a coma for 11 days and spent the next 6 weeks slowly recovering from his extensive injuries. This is Christopher's story. It is also the story of the trauma team at Good Samaritan and the life-saving work that they do every day.
We are here 24 hours a day, fully staffed, pediatric expertise, surgical expertise, and certainly emergency medical expertise.
When I first came 25 years ago, the emergency room saw approximately 35,000 patients a year. At the present time, the emergency room sees 100,000 patients a year. We are the busiest emergency room on Long Island.
The golden hour of trauma care begins on arrival, and Good Sam has one of the greatest emergency departments on Long Island.
The thing about trauma is the urgency with which you need to treat the patient.
Within the first hour, hour and a half, they inserted a probe and a drain in the brain to measure the pressure and to release fluid. I remember the first 2 nights I was there and Chrissy was the nurse. I thought to myself at one point during the night, how does this woman have her lunch or her meal, whatever you want to call it, in the middle of the night? She was in the room with Christopher and I the entire night, answering questions, you know, double checking things. She was amazing. She was amazing.
Our children who are hospitalized within pediatrics, the services really extend not only to that patient and the medical care that we need to provide, but also the supportive care.
Well, Sister Jean was in our room daily.
Sister Jean was fabulous.
And I bumped into Sister Jean more than once going in or out of the chapel, because I was in the chapel several times a day, and so was she. There's a distinct feeling that you get when someone looks in your face and they console you, and you know they really care. You know that what they're saying is the truth, that they're focused on you and your troubles. And quite frankly, we were one of several people in somewhat dire straits on the ICU that week, and yet I can't recollect feeling at any time that we were a face in the crowd.
Trauma is a team sport, and it means that you have to commit that every single one of your department, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, is going to be not only just ready, but optimally ready. And so I think that what happens is trauma centers commit to things that nobody else will commit to. And what sets them apart is that they've committed not only just on Monday morning, but they've committed at 3 a.m. on Christmas Day. And not only did the hospital commit, but the entire staff commits.
There were several different times that we met angels on the staff of Good Sam. The first day when we were going upstairs to sign the papers for Christopher to have the fasciotomy on his leg, we were holding hands. I was leaning on my husband, and we were obviously devastated. Out of nowhere, someone came up and held my other hand. And I looked, and she was a very pleasant-looking woman, didn't know her. She held my hand. We walked down the hallway. We signed our papers. I didn't see her after that. The next day, 3 people came in to move Christopher to a CAT scan. The same woman walked in. She's a transporter, and she said to me, I just want you to know, my husband had a very bad injury when he was 18. Again, another angel, someone who went out of their way, absolutely went out of their way.
It's kind of cool having a whole network of people that just care and look out for you all the time.
I see the statue of the Good Samaritan outside, and I think for us at this hospital that's very telling, because the story of the Good Samaritan is someone who didn't have to help, who did. And the thing is, I think the commitment we make is a commitment that you don't have to make.
Good Sam said, okay, we'll go to the experts, and got the site visit from the American College of Surgeons, and they came and they did a complete review on facilities, personnel, administration, who cleaned the floors, who ran the operating room, etc. And this was part of a rather introspective analysis of, what do we do?
To that end, we have made the decision to become an American College of Surgeons designated trauma center.
We're in the process of building a 16-bed surgical ICU, state-of-the-art, to take care of the trauma patients who come in for the trauma service, as well as other surgical emergencies and critically ill patients. This is in process, as you can see. There will be a patient here eventually. There will be a bed here. The monitoring equipment is coming in soon. This is state-of-the-art.
The halo effect of trauma is that you fix systems that will also impact other patients. No matter what you do in trauma, you're going to make the entire building better, because trauma affects the entire building.
I think Good Sam Hospital took a great risk in actually having someone come from outside to assess the quality of the work they had done. Not many hospitals will do that.
Our goal in the long term is to provide the most sophisticated, comprehensive care.
Good Sam is building for the future by building this trauma service. It's a community asset. Anyone who's injured, who needs medical care, can come here.
All of these things that we have been able to put together, and all of these things that we have developed here with the dedication of our staff, of our physicians, of the administration and the board, really have made Good Samaritan Hospital the hospital of choice.
The future is whatever Christopher would like it to be, whatever college he would like to go to, whatever profession he would like to pursue, whatever woman he would like to marry, wherever he'd like to settle. And we do consider ourselves very fortunate that because he was treated at Good Sam, the future is now limitless.